Hello everyone, you're welcome to my channel. My name is Miss Lumu. I'm a teacher from Ghana. If you're new here, you're welcome to the family. If you are a returning subscriber, thank you so much for coming back. Now today we're talking about the classroom space. We are talking about creating the right atmosphere that is safe and encourages learners to thrive. Have you ever stopped to think about how your learners feel when they enter your classroom? Now, do you ever wonder the kind of vibe your classroom gives? If there was a survey in your classroom today, what do you think your students will see? What do you think they'll say about the personality? What do you think they'll say about how they feel when they enter your classroom? What's the tone or mood in your classroom like? Have you ever noticed that there are some teachers that are genuinely loved by their learners? They are firm with them, but they enjoy their lessons. They look forward to coming to school all the time because they know that they're going to meet their teacher in the classroom. Well, it's because they have intentionally set the tone in the classroom to one that's warm and inviting. A tone that tells students that they're safe, they are respected, their efforts are appreciated, they can win, and they can thrive irrespective of the challenges they have. As a teacher, it is very important to create the right atmosphere for learners in your classroom. Sets the tone for their learning. They are motivated. It's healthy for their growth. It makes them feel safe in your care. And it makes them very excited to come to school. So, how do you create a healthy atmosphere? How do you make sure that the mood in your classroom is right for teaching and learning? Number one, you need to build a healthy relationship with your learners. A healthy relationship starts with the words you speak to them and the tone with which you use to say these words. You have to be intentional about using healthy words on your learners. You need to listen to them, show genuine interest in their comments and their concerns. Sometimes you need to create time to listen to their random stories and experiences. You need to make time for each and every learner in your classroom. Building a healthy relationship also means that you need to be approachable. Your learners must be able to come to you if they face any challenge in school. And being approachable doesn't mean that you don't have to be firm. It's important to be firm in the classroom because it helps learners to know what is allowed and what is not allowed. So, as a teacher, are you approachable? Are your students afraid of you? Do they walk on eggshells around you? Or they are excited to approach you. Now, students thrive in an environment where they know that they have a teacher they can trust and talk to, someone they can confide in, someone who will not talk down on them. So you have to be intentional about building a healthy relationship with your learners. Now, you also have to know that it is very important as a teacher not to let your personal issues affect your relationship with your learners. As adults, we deal with a lot, but that's why you're a professional. You need to deal with your personal issues so that you don't burden the students with these emotions. Another way of creating the right atmosphere in your classroom is to respect your learners. Now, you need to show your learners love. You need to respect their individual differences, irrespective of who they are or where they're from or what their background is. You need to show genuine interest in the things that concerns them. Now, when your students know that you care about them, your kindness is genuine and you really respect them, you're able to open up and you're able to get through to them. Now, respecting your learners also means that you don't have to judgmental. You have to be fair and objective when dealing with issues in your classroom. You don't have to condemn your learners if something happens. You have to make sure that everybody gets an opportunity, an equal opportunity to be heard. You also have to learn to separate the problem from the individual. When you learn to separate the problem from the individual and you don't mix the two coupled with your emotions together, the learner knows that, okay, my personality is not being attacked. What is the problem here? Is the issue at hand? So they learn to accept their mistakes and they take steps to correct their roles. Another way of creating the right atmosphere in the classroom is to be a teacher who is open to feedback. So you give feedback and you also accept feedback. Now, it is very good to listen to what your students have to say about your teaching and your classroom practices because it helps you to know if they are really benefiting from what you're teaching and the steps you can take to tweak your lessons to ensure that they are really benefiting. Now, you don't have to be afraid of feedback. So it's very important to get feedback from your learners. It is also important to give feedback. Your learners need to know what you think. It's very necessary, so don't hold it. Give feedback. Another way of creating the right atmosphere in your classroom is to ensure that your physical environment is appealing. Now, imagine walking to a boring classroom. How would you feel? You're not going to be excited about the school day because the classroom looks very boring. So you need to pay attention to what your classroom looks like. Your walls must speak. You have to pay attention to the choice of colors in your classroom, depending on the level you teach. Now you need to get rid of all the clutter in your classroom. A neatly arranged classroom is very conducive for learning. So it's very important to pay attention to that. Now, another way to create the right atmosphere in your classroom is to celebrate your learners and also be supportive. You must appreciate their efforts. When they make an effort to participate in class activities or answer questions in class, you need to celebrate them, appreciate them. When you do that, it makes them feel good and it makes them want to put their best foot forward. Now, some students also have issues or challenges at home. They're coming to school with a lot of problems. You also need to be very supportive so that you can offer assistance or help where needed. Now, finally, you need to make your lessons exciting and engaging. Now, your teaching shouldn't be a one size fits all. Teaching is not a wholesale game. You need to make sure that you're tailoring your lessons to meet the needs of every learner in your classroom. So, plan well so that every child will benefit from your lessons. Now, being a teacher is a lot of hard work, and I trust that we all will be intentional about creating the right atmosphere that is safe, motivates students, and is inclusive so all learners can thrive. See you in my next video.